Hello everybody, my name is Percy and oh my god, it's been a hot minute. Um, so, I, it's been a while. I was gonna film this video like forever ago and I just didn't because a lot of stuff has happened in my personal life, like a lot of stuff. But anyway, I'm here now, that's all that matters, and for the first time I decorated my background. See, look, I got Till, more Till over here, Till plushie, Till and Ivan, Ivan, Till, Ivan. I have a lot of stuff, okay? But anyway, can you guess what the theme of today's video is? So my biggest special interest, by the way, I feel like this is obvious, I'm autistic, been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and every disorder under every single tree ever. But I am autistic, so when it comes to my interests, I take them very seriously. Growing up, I didn't really, this is not me trying to make it sappy or sad, I didn't really have any friends. And I mean, I don't mind that. Like, I've made a lot of friends in the recent years, and that's what matters most to me. But growing up, I didn't really have friends. So my friends were basically my books. Percy Jackson was obviously, like, no crap Percy, but like, that was my first friend. Like, that whole series was very important to me. Growing up, there have been other things that have been very important. Five Nights at Freddy's was very big for me as a kid. What else? Really got into My Hero Academia back in 2020, and I still love My Hero Academia very much. I don't care how often people call it cringe. Cringe culture is dead. Amori has gotten me through a lot of my stuff, my own personal stuff, the Owl House. Like, there are a lot of different pieces of media that have really shaped me into the person I am today. And my biggest special interest of all time, the one that has held number one for the longest amount of time, the one that has really struck me with all of my writing and my work, has been Alien Stage. Now, my favorite character from Alien Stage is Maisie, and I want to make a whole separate video on her because she is so insanely misunderstood, but I discovered Alien Stage, I actually made my second video, or my third if you count my intro. My third video was actually about Alien Stage. I played a bunch of Alien Stage games on Roblox. And I think that I told this story then, but how I got into Alien Stage was about 2 years ago, right after Round 6 came out. Rest in peace, Ivan. Right after Round 6 came out, my friend Mare, shout out Mare, love you Mare, she posted on her story something, Alien Stage, and I was like, oh my god, I like that art style, what is it? And she was like, let me tell you. And so I started watching Alien Stage, and so, granted, that's a lot later than most people started watching Alien Stage, but that's when I got into it. And ever since, it has been a really big interest of mine, especially when Weesh came out, and Blink On was crazy, oh my god. Over the course of the past couple of years, ever since I had first gotten into Alien Stage, I have dissected every part of it. Another thing that I've probably mentioned multiple times on this channel before is that I am a writer. Most of all, I'm a creator. I like to create things. I like to create art, writing, anything. Like I like to create music. I just love creating things. I like doing crafts. I just like making content. So when I get into something, I analyze every aspect of every character, every song, every word, every like outfit design. Like, I analyze every single bit of it because to me that's very important. And when it comes to Alien Stage and the fandom, one thing I figured out very quickly were how certain fans of Alien Stage over-sexualized Ivan and Till and turned Till into like this emo twink femboy and all of this stuff. And so in today's video, I wanted to address that and basically discuss it, because I love Alien Stage, and you can interpret it however you want. But since this fandom has a severe lack of media literacy, I feel the need to sit down, dissect each character, and push away from those harmful stereotypes, because here's the hard truth. Till's not a twink, Ivan's not a creepy pervert, and at this point in the fandom, both of them are being fetishized and turning into these characters that they just aren't. It's weird. It's not. It grosses me out. I don't like it. Till is one of my favorite characters in Alien Stage, and he has my favorite design. And so to see him turned into a character that he isn't, turned into being Ivan-centered, is really disappointing. So, as someone who takes this show so seriously, I wanted to address all of this. So, that's what I'm doing. Hey, I just wanted to take a quick break before we actually get into all of the Ivantill stuff to talk about something that's a little bit more serious. So, I am struggling really badly financially right now. I can barely afford my car payment. I'm trying to move out with my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend have been together for over a year. Here's a photo of her. She's amazing and gorgeous, and I love her so much. We have a cat together named Mouse. Here's a photo of him as well. And while she just started working at my main job with me, we are still struggling to make ends meet. She currently lives in a mentally and verbally abusive household, and this household also, by her mother, and her mother also, like, harasses her cat, our cat. So I decided to make a GoFundMe. Now, I'm also doing $10 tarot card commissions and art commissions. If you want any more information about either of those, please message me on Instagram. All my socials are always linked below. But I'm gonna leave the GoFundMe link. Don't feel pressured to donate anything. I don't expect donations to come, like, out of everyone who clicks it, but if you could at the very least share this link with other people, that would mean the world to me and my girlfriend, because we desperately both need to get out of our situations. Currently our mini goal is 1,600. Our main goal is just to raise 10,000, which is a lot of money. I completely understand that, but it would be enough for us to be able to move out, have a couple months rent, and on top of that, be able to pay off a part of my car payment and basically get on our feet while we pay off I can pay off some of my debts. We can afford to get Mouse some extra vaccines and stuff. That's the name of our cat that he hasn't gotten. So even if you can't donate, sharing is just as important. Please share on different social media platforms or with friends and family that you feel safe or comfortable sharing with. That would mean the absolute world to me and my girlfriend. And thank y'all so much for even taking the time to click on this video. Another way that I'm trying to raise money, as I mentioned, I'm doing tarot card readings and art commissions. I am also hoping to get monetized on YouTube. Now, I need to have, I believe, at least 5,000 subscribers. I don't remember. I think it's 5,000. And I need a certain amount of watch hours as well. So, if at all possible, please share my content. I love making YouTube videos. I know that I haven't in a while, but I love making content, whether it be art or writing or anything. I enjoy making content, and one day I would love to make it full-time, but for the time being, any extra money that I can make from anything else is vital. So please just share my story with others, and that's the most that I will ask of anyone. If you would like to donate, please donate, but regardless, thank y'all so much for taking the time to listen to this, and let's get back to the video. Okay, so now that we got that little break over with, now to get into the real meat of it. So I want to start with Till because he is introduced in Alien Stage first. Where is he? Here he is. Till. I love Till. Till has always been one of my favorite characters. I love his design. He was introduced in round 2 of Alien Stage. Well, technically he was introduced in Sweet Dream, but we're not getting into that. Till was properly introduced in round 2 of the Alien Stage. He was shown as this, like, grungy rock, like, emo guy who is deeply in love and infatuated with Maisie. Now, this is where a lot of people argue, oh, well, he's not really in love with Maisie. I'll get more into that later. But Till is this character who is very against the aliens, against the government. Like, he's very gung-ho about what he believes in, and he's very rebellious. That being said, at the end of the day, he has a kind heart. He cares about the people that he's around. He doesn't fully understand Sua, but he still cares for her. He still cares for Acorn, even though he had to go against him, because guess what? That was his friend. Like, he is just a caring person, one of the most caring in Alien Stage. And in reality, he's the only character who actually got to experience a mother's love, which once again, I'll get into that later. But yeah, throughout that whole video, we see that he's very rebellious, he's very loudmouthed, he believes what he believes in, he goes against the aliens that are trying to oppress the humans. That's just who he is. And in his video, whenever he's singing about Mizi, all he's thinking about is Mizi. He doesn't think about Ivan at all. Which leads us to round 3, where Ivan comes into play. Here, I'll bring out this little guy. Oops, sorry, Till. See? Look at him. Isn't he cute? Well, Ivan is introduced, and he is perfect. Perfect. Like, to the aliens. He has a beautiful voice. He does what he's asked to. He almost kind of seems like the opposite of Till. In the beginning of round 3, all we're focused on is getting to know his past. Ivan was created in an illegal human breeding factory, which is heartbreaking. Essentially, it's like human trafficking in the real world. So, Ivan just doesn't really feel anything. He's very apathetic. And that's when Till comes into his life. He sees Till and he watches him, and he gets a strange feeling. He doesn't know how to word it, because Ivan doesn't fully know what love is, which is a very strong theme without Alien Stage. None of the characters know how to love because they were raised in a world without human love, without humanity. So Ivan can't fully name his feelings, but it shows in round 3 that he tries to run away with Till. But Till cares too much about Mizi and Sua to leave them behind. So he turns around and he leaves. And of course this breaks Ivan's heart, but one thing confirmed later by Vivinos and Qming is that Ivan doesn't let out his emotions, he bottles them up. He doesn't let himself fully feel them, because also he doesn't fully understand what his emotions mean. He doesn't fully understand what to do in that kind of situation, because all he's ever done is listen and obey. Minus when he tried to escape with Till. So, the next time we see Till and Ivan is briefly at the end of round 5, when Mizi is taken, away. She starts beating up Luca, so, yeah. We briefly see Till, and then and then All In happens, and then round 6 happens. Till is very clearly in his whole first part of that song, in Cure. He's very heartbroken. He's very, somber. He doesn't really have much of a will to live anymore. Mizi was his driving force, and now that she's gone, he can't see what's right in front of him. He was mocked by the aliens. They try to get him to sing My Clematis. He's mocked, and then he gets assaulted by the aliens. And Ivan finds him, and Ivan wipes away his sweat, and the most emotion he ever shows until the end of the video, he nudges his head against Till's, because that's the only way he knows how to show his affection. And obviously Till is passed out from the exhaustion, so he doesn't know that Ivan did this. Well, towards the end, Till stops singing, because he doesn't care enough to keep going. He realizes the gravity of the situation that he's in, and he's the youngest character in Alien Stage, by the way, so all of his childlike innocence is just gone. It's gone. But Ivan sees this, and although it's shown in the comments that he mocks Sua for her decision to sacrifice herself, he goes up to Till, knowing that he's going to sacrifice himself, and he kisses him. Now, this scene is the most heavily mischaracterized in Alien Stage. So I'm going to go into it and heavily explain every single detail. So Ivan goes in, holds Till's face for a second, and then goes in to kiss him because he doesn't know what else to do. All he knows is that that's something you do when you like someone. And Till tries to pull away because he's confused, he doesn't know what's going on, he's scared, and Ivan just goes back in because he's trying to be selfish in his last moments because that's something he refused to be. So Till kind of gives up fighting for a second, and then Ivan wraps his hands around his throat and starts choking him. And Till is even more confused, but he just gives up because he closes his eyes because he doesn't want to see Ivan with that look in his eyes in his last moments. That's when Ivan realizes that Till won and that he lost. So he starts getting shot erratically because the aliens don't really want Ivan to die. They don't really like Till that much. The audience clearly does, but not everyone else. And when Till finally opens his eyes, he sees Ivan falling to the ground. And Till is so heartbroken. He has to get dragged away from Ivan's body because that was his best friend. The only thing he had left after he lost Maisie. And there was nothing he could do. Well, unfortunately, later that very same day, it's time for round 7. So Till is completely just gone at this point. He feels like he has nothing to live for. He knows that Maisie's alive, probably, because she's missing, but he lost his best friend, and he just left him in this state of disarray. Like, he doesn't know what to do. Like, Ivan kind of just was like, and then, like, that all he knows is that the guy he had known for years, his best friend, who he thought he knew, he didn't really know because he kissed him before sacrificing himself. Like, it doesn't make sense in his brain. So he is really freaked out. And that's when, after singing the whole song, after singing Blink Gone, he sees Maisie in the crowd. And he realizes that his lifeline is still there. And he reaches out to her, and that's when he's shot. Now, you find out at the end of Karma that, yay, Till's alive. And by the way, I would like to add that I predicted that when it happened, and Mare, my friend from earlier, called me and was like, I think people are just being delusional because they love Till. No, I was right. Anyway. So Till ends up surviving and joining the rebellion. Now, you find out in the comics that Till struggled with hallucinating Ivan for a very, very long time. Because, believe it or not, it's a very traumatic experience. So Till hallucinated Ivan, and every time he tried to speak, it was like Ivan was kissing him again. And it took him a very long time before he realized Ivan loved him. And that's when it really sunk in for him. Because Till is the only character in Alien Stage who actually got to experience love. And this is shown because as a baby, he got to grow up with his mom a bit. Not much, but for a couple of years, he grew up with Io. And she showed him motherly affection and genuine love. That's not something that he experienced anywhere else. So when he met Maisie, someone who was very similar to Io, and gave that kind of motherly, sisterly love to him, he thought, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is true feelings, and he idolized her. I'm not saying he didn't have romantic feelings for Maisie, because he most certainly did, but a big part of that grew from idolization, out of seeing her as this light, as the sun, as this thing that was so similar to his mom, but he can't remember his mom. All he remembers is a certain warmth that he can't find anywhere else except for inside of Maisie. On the other hand, we have Ivan, who didn't grow up with any of that and won't communicate his emotions, so how was Till supposed to know? Because that's not the love that he was taught. So Till finally realizes and hugs the hallucination of Ivan, saying that he wished that he had the word family back then. And then he starts to look for Mizi again, because he no longer has romantic feelings for her, but they both went through the same thing, which means that they can both understand each other in a way that the others cannot. So that's currently the end of Alien Stage as we know it for now. We do have Zombie Stage and a bunch of comics and like the Actor AU, all that fun stuff. But that's the end of the main story, at least for now. I have my own personal theories, but that's a story for another time. I just realized that I don't have my microphone and the quality probably sounds like ass. Give me one moment. Okay, I hope y'all can hear me better. I apologize for that. I haven't filmed a video in so long that I kind of forgot that I have a microphone. Anyway, here's my little ASMR. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So Till finally has the word family, and he wants to find Mizi to talk about a pain that only they can understand. Now, that being said, like I said, that's the end of Alien Stage. Well, there are different continuations in AUs, especially in fan works, and that's where we get into the fandom mischaracterizations of the characters. So we're gonna start with Till, because he is... oh my god. Okay. So, I don't even know how to start this. So, often in fandoms, whenever there is an MLM pairing that's not even technically canon, they are more fond over than the canon sapphic couple. So Mizi and Suwa are canon, and they're a beautiful, beautiful pairing, but people don't focus on them, even though we get a Mizi-Suwa kiss more than once compared to Ivan and Till's. But Ivan and Till's is so romanticized that they're overshadowed. Now this is common. Whenever a piece of media where two men loving each other comes out, they overlook any media that has sapphic people in it. And that's because gay men are so heavily fetishized. And don't get me wrong, sapphic women, including sapphic non-binaries like myself, are also over-sexualized in many ways. But it's not to the same degree because of misogyny. Misogyny is so prevalent in the Alien Stage fandom that it utterly disgusts me. Ivan and Till are more... they get so much more attention because it's a man loving a man. But the second that it's a man loving a woman or a woman loving a woman, it's overlooked because guess what? Oh, well, there are no men in it. There are no men, two women. And that's such a problem in every community. I looked up GL and Yuri manga one time, and then I looked up BL and Yaoi manga, and the difference between the amount that was created, was triple. There was triple the amount of MLM manga compared to Wallawa manga. And that's so disappointing. Now, misogyny in the Alien Stage fandom is I could make a whole separate video on that. Like I said, if y'all are interested, I would love to make a video on the other characters and maybe do a series where I analyze every single character and explain how they're mischaracterized. But for now, I'm talking about Ivan and Till. So to start with Till, there are a lot of artists who draw Till as this twinky, femboy character. Now, there is nothing wrong with femboys or twinks. # shout out femboys and twinks. But Till is probably the most masculine out of the three men out of the main cast. Yeah, he wears guyliner. He probably paints his nails. But he's never been shown to be feminine. There is an art of him, a canon art, official art, of him in this pink maid dress with, cat ears on. And he's deliberately going, because he doesn't like it, and he's annoyed. And that's the joke. Fun fact, Ivan is also in a bunny, headband and a maid dress in the back, but no one talks about it. They'll draw art of that. They don't draw him uncomfortable. they draw him into it. They draw him as this, like, feminine, like, twink who's so much smaller than Ivan. By the way, he's, like, a couple inches shorter, and on top of that, Ivan's also, all of the characters in Alien Stage are starved to be idols. Ivan's not that much bigger than Till, but people draw him as, like, super big and buff. No, especially in the jock emo AU. Oh my god, the way that emo men get, like, fetishized into twinks is really, really weird. Like, just because you were a skinny... By the way, Till's bisexual, canonically, not even gay. He's bisexual. He likes both Maisie and Ivan. But he's shown as this, like, twink who's like, oh, oops, let me just arch my back, oops. Like, no, what? That's not his character at all. He cares for Ivan a lot, but in the main story, most of it is overshadowed by his idolization and love for Maisie. He's not a twink. Just because he is a skinny man, bisexual man, does not make him a twink. The definition of twink is an effeminate gay man. Till is a masculine bisexual man. The only thing he has down there... Oh, and skinny. Effeminate, skinny gay man. The only thing that Till has is that he's skinny. And he's a man. Like that's... Sorry, I don't know what else to tell y'all. He is not your little Twinkie femboy. And for him to be seen as this, ooh, so small, so cute guy next to Ivan is frankly disgusting. Like, because that... They just completely overlook his whole character arc and what makes him such an amazing character. They overlook it, and they choose to ignore it because they want to see him with Ivan, and they want to see a boy doing butt stuff with another boy. And I hate that. It's so... Have y'all not seen Heated Rivalry? Let me take a moment. Have y'all seen Heated Rivalry? You know, it's been a phenomenon. I wouldn't be surprised if you had. Look at the two main characters, Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. They're both masculine men, correct? Both masculine men who play sports. And, I mean, there's probably people feminizing Shane Hollander because he's the bottom. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's... For the most part, people respect that. They're both masculine men. Neither of them are feminine. Like, a part of that also comes from the need to have, a boy and a girl in a relationship. When you are a girl dating a girl, you're not dating a man. No one's going to be the man. When it's a man dating a man, no one's going to be the woman, because guess what? That's the whole fucking point. No one is going to be the opposite gender. Like, I'm non-binary, and my partner is gender fluid. My girlfriend's gender fluid. Mainly uses, like, she, her pronouns and dresses more feminine, but she is, in fact, gender fluid. And I'm non-binary. But the whole point is that neither of us are men. Like, neither of us... We're both in a sapphic relationship. We both love each other so much. And I've still had people ask, oh, well, who's the boy? Who's the top? Who's the bottom? And it's such a disgusting question. It's such a, like, it's invading our privacy. And for people to do that with Ivan and Till and make one of them such a femme, like, twink, when neither of them are, they're both men, they're both boys, it's disgusting. It's horrible. Especially because it just overlooks Till's whole character. Till is such a well-written character. One of the most well-written characters in all of media. He's witty, he's funny, and he's not a tsundere either. He doesn't act that way around Maisie, the person he's in love with. No, he only acts that way around Ivan, because guess what? He doesn't realize how Ivan feels about him. So he just is like, dude, you're pissing me off. Like, Till's not that angry of a person. It's just how he is. And he's such a well-written character. He's so funny. He has... Akugetsu is an amazing, like, voice for him. He has such a strong voice, and it's beautiful. And yet, people just choose to turn him and dumb him down into, oh, he's hot. oh, he's a bottom. Oh, I want to put it up his butt. And granted, making those kinds of jokes isn't inherently harmful, but when you fully see a character who is the most masculine out of all the characters in Alien Stage and turn him into this femme, like, twink, like, oops, oh, hi, Ivan, hi, let me arch my back and get ready for you to put it up my butt. You're completely erasing his character arc, you're completely erasing his story, and it's disgusting. That being said, Ivan doesn't get it off easy either. Ivan is just completely changed into a dominant guy who just, ooh, I like Till so much. And he's turned into a pervert because of what he did in round 6 and how he stares at Till. Ivan is not a pervert, guys. Granted, I thought that when I first watched round 6, because I watched that before the rest of the Alien Stage, but Ivan's not a pervert. Like, he's not weird. Ivan is also an extremely well-written character. All of the characters in Alien Stage are. Ivan is shown to be very quiet in the sense of, while he loves talking to Till and he cares about Till a lot, he just doesn't understand his emotions, so he doesn't know how to show them to him. So instead, he just fights him and comes off as this guy who just won't leave Till alone. And instead, people chose to interpret that as, oh, he's a pervert. Oh, all they're gonna do is have sex. And frankly, it's disgusting, because you're completely erasing the whole point of Ivan's character. He doesn't understand how to properly convey his emotions, so he bottles them up, and they all explode in that one moment at the end of round 6. And on top of that, he respects Till's boundaries. Like, he's never, like, forced him into anything aside from that kiss, and even then, it was very, like, brief. It wasn't that long. There wasn't tongue in it either, like people try and say, oh, no, don't get me started on that. But anyway, Ivan he cares about Till, but he doesn't know how to show it because he grew up believing that his emotions didn't matter, or that he just didn't know how to convey them, because a lot of the characters don't know how to fully show their emotions in Alien Stage, because guess what? They grew up in a world without humanity. It's almost like, hey guys, it's almost like that's the whole point of the show. It's almost like that's the whole point of the show. But Ivan is being reduced to being this top, like, sexy, like, oh, I'm gonna put it up my boyfriend's ass. Like, no, that's not what his whole character arc is about. He's actually an extremely well-written character who cares about Till deeply and just doesn't know how to convey it. And so for people to put them as a pairing, if you want a twink X, like, masculine man thing, you can find that literally anywhere. Like, a canon story, like, where that's who the characters are. So go, be my guest. Go ahead and go find one of those. Hell, I can probably find a bunch of those the second that I look. That being said, don't make characters that aren't a twink and that aren't a, don't make characters that aren't that into something that they aren't just because that's what you want. If you want that, go on AO3. You can definitely find it there, trust me. Like, it's not that hard to find that kind of story because it's so overdone. Like, this isn't me saying that twinks don't exist, or that, like, very masculine, like, I'm not trying to say that those kinds of relationships don't exist, but that's not what Ivan and Till are in Alien Stage. Not by a long shot. They're completely different than that. They're their own characters, and they also have their own arcs that don't revolve around each other. Just because they're in a relationship doesn't mean, or, well, they're not even in a relationship, but just because they haven't, part of their arc is surrounded by each other, doesn't mean that that's all that they are. they each had their own interests, they each had their own beliefs, and for people to mischaracterize them is very harmful, because it's allowing very creepy women who fetishize gay men to continue to do so. And then it ends up harming people in real life. Like, the amount of gay men who get fetishized, like, oh, that's my gay best friend, like, oh my god. But then the second that you see a lesbian, it's ew, gross, like, don't you get a crush on me. It is harmful. It's extremely harmful. The amount, I grew up in the ass crack of the South. Like, I still live in the ass crack of the South. It's part of why I'm trying to move. And the difference between the way that gay men got treated at my school compared to me. Granted, they weren't really well liked either, but I was 10 times more bullied and harassed by both genders. Granted, men will continue to harass gay men anyway, but the women didn't have as much of a problem if it was a gay man. But if it was me, someone who identified as a lesbian and still do, it's, oh, well, don't get a crush on me. Or I'd get those nasty looks, or I'd be ignored, or I would get rumors spread about me being a pervert, and all of this stuff simply because I wanted to be with a woman. And they made my high school experience a living hell. And by continuing to mischaracterize these very popular characters, you're endorsing that. You're endorsing this ideology that, oh, well, one of them's a twink and one of them's a mask. Like, I know that probably won't make sense to a lot of you, but it is endorsing these horrible, horrible, like, ideologies. Because what starts as, ooh, they're twink, oh, and then this one's the, like, masculine top, leads to, in real life, oh, who's the top, who's the bottom, and, oh, well, you know what, I love gay men, like, I love fetishizing them, like, this one can be my BFF, like, this twink, I want a twink best friend, let me get my gay best friend. But then the second that you're around a lesbian, you get uncomfortable. You start to think, ew, gross, what if she likes me as a straight woman? And that can harm a lot of people. And it has harmed a lot of people. As I've said before, I've been a victim of that. And it's not cute, it's not funny, and Ivantill shouldn't be reduced down to being in a relationship. They're both amazing characters. And also, you know what? I'm gonna get a little less serious for a second. I'm gonna talk about Ivantill. If we're gonna make one of them feminine, Ivan's the more feminine one canonically. Whenever he gets to dress himself, you know what he wears? Decora Ivan is canon. He chose to dress himself like that. He likes doing the little thing. And granted, I don't even think Ivan's feminine. He's just comfortable in his masculinity. And it's the same with Till. They're both male characters who are comfortable in their masculinity. That's why Till feels comfortable doing guyliner and painting his nails black. And why Ivan dresses Decora and puts in cute, fun hair clips. Because they're both comfortable in their masculinity, and they're both comfortable as men. And Ivan and Till are just also so dumbed down to being a top and a bottom that whenever I go on AO3 to read a fanfic, and I like reading fanfiction. Sue me, I don't care. But the amount of smut fics compared to just nice fics, and not even well written, compared to, like, or if I go and look up Mizi Shua, there are none. Or it'll end up just being an Ivan and Till smut fic. Sometimes I just want to read lesbians. Sue me, I guess I can't like that. I guess I can't want to read lesbian on lesbian. My bad, guys. My bad. But back to the topic at hand. Realistically, if we're talking about Ivan and Till, they're both masculine men. And as I said before, they're both so different than the way they're portrayed. Ivan is not a pervert. He cares very much about Till. And Till overlooks Ivan. Like, if we look in the school A that was released along with Zombie Stage, he still has a crush on Mizi because he still idolizes her. Mizi and Sue are together, and Till still likes Mizi, and Ivan obviously loves Till, but he's still bottling up his emotions because those are key aspects of their character arcs. And while I would love to see something happy between all the couples, like, yay, Mizi Sue happiness, Luca happiness, Ivantill happiness, I also think that it's important to touch on the heartbreaking parts of queer love stories and Ivan being overlooked, Ivan not being recognized the way that Mizi's getting recognized, because guess what? Till is currently in love with Mizi. And that's just how it is. And while that does make for some really good angst fanfictions and angst arts, it's also just something that people need to fully recognize as being a central part of these characters. Ivan's very charming. He could get anyone he wants. But he's in love with Till, so he will reject everyone else. Or, it's also shown in his birthday art that he got with a bunch of the girls and they all broke up with him after a week because he just wasn't in love with them. He even tried charming, like, girls that were in love with Till so he could have him all to himself. That's the real Ivan. That's the one who was letting his selfish side come out just a little bit. He's not even a selfish character for the most part, but he has these little moments where his emotions burst out just slightly, because you can never bottle up your emotions fully. You can never fully keep them away. They're going to come out at some point. And with Ivan, that happens to him. His emotions fully spill out in round 6, but for the very same reason he made fun of Sue for being selfish and sacrificing himself without fully thinking about how Till would feel. Because in his mind, he believed that Till wouldn't care, because that's what Till had shown him in all the years that they had been friends. So I want you to ask yourself, is making Till a twink really worth it? Is mischaracterizing these two well-written characters really worth it? Because my answer, I don't think it is. I think that Ivan and Till deserve to be recognized for how well they're written. I think that they deserve to be recognized for their true arcs. And I'm not saying that you can't make, like, happy AUs of them. Trust me, I need some happiness in this sad fandom. That being said, though, is making these characters is mischaracterizing Ivan and Till really worth it in the end? Because you're harming the characters, and most of all, you're endorsing real life bad behavior. Anyway, that's the end of my video. I know that this was pretty long. I feel like most of my videos end up being pretty long. But yeah, if y'all want more content like this where I talk about and dissect characters, I would absolutely love to. I had a blast making this. Like I said, I'm like an Alien Stage expert. I love Alien Stage. In fact, before I start editing this video, I'm definitely going to go back and read through the art book because I have that, the deluxe version. But yeah, Alien Stage is so important to me for so many reasons. If y'all are interested in me making a video about each of the characters, definitely leave a comment down below. Don't forget that I'm going to have my GoFundMe in the linked below as well. Don't feel pressured to donate. Just please share to as many people as you can. And thank you all so much for listening. I know that it really has been a while, and I promise that I'm going to get better at posting these videos because I love making them. They're so much fun, and one day I want to be able to afford to get like an actual nice camera and microphone so I can properly make these videos for y'all. But yeah, please feel free to like, comment, and share if you feel like it, if you enjoyed this video, and if you want more of this kind of content. And yeah, thank y'all so much for listening, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye!